You know, just when I think I'm getting better at not sweating the small stuff, and I think to myself, how many more rant videos can I make? Can I keep this series going? Because there's not a lot of stuff to rant about every day like there used to be, seemingly. Just when I think that, the rant gods come through and provide for me an opportunity. Such is the case today. Another day, I'm in a great mood. I went to get a haircut this morning. In a great mood, everything's good, and I went to do my morning little walk in the mall that I do. I go, I'm a mall walker, deal with it. And anyway, and everything, I'm just trying to set you up that there's nothing wrong with me. I'm not in an irritable mood, everything's fine. And then I have to go, after my walk, I go to a CVS pharmacy to buy something that I need, and it's a little item, and I'm thinking to myself, I bet you they're going to expect me to use the self-checkout thing. I wasn't sure, but oh boy, what wound up happening is incredible. I get to the checkout area, and I notice there's no clerk behind the desk with the counter with the cash register. Nobody checking people out. Now, I'm the only person on the line. There's one young guy ahead of me that's over to my left. Over to my left, they have not one, but two self-checkout machines or kiosks or whatever they call them, okay? But here's the thing I'm noticing. The woman who's supposed to be at the checkout counter is standing to my right, and she's on her phone. She's just standing there, and she's playing on her phone. And I'm wondering how long it's going to take her to notice me standing there and get behind the counter and say, "Yes, sir, may I help you?" You remember when they used to do that? So I'm waiting, and after the guy is finished checking himself out at the self-checkout, it's just me, and I'm waiting there, and I'm going to say it was about maybe 20, 25 seconds. It wasn't that long. But I'm noticing the woman is totally oblivious to the fact that I'm standing there waiting. So finally I have to speak up. I say, "Excuse me," I said, are you working at the register? I don't know. Are you at the register? And she goes, the self-checkouts are over there. And I said, that's the moment I kind of snapped inside. And I said, very firmly, "I don't do self-checkout." Okay? And she said, she came around and she was not happy because I bothered her. She has to work now. She went around, put her phone down, went around, and the first moments were really kind of tense between us. And she was like, "Well, that's the way it is. This is the way it's going to be. Pretty soon this whole place is probably going to be self-checkout. Pretty soon you're going to have everywhere." And I said, "When that day comes, then I'll deal with it. But right now that day's not here." And she says, "Well, I just want you to know, there's going to be a time when you go into the stores and you're not going to have a cashier, and it's going to have to be." And I said, like I said, I'll worry about that when it happens. I'm kind of doing the kind of passive aggressive, killer with a smile kind of thing. And she was perturbed. I could tell that already. She goes, "It's like that everywhere," she says, wherever you go. Even in restaurants, if you go to like McDonald's, I went to McDonald's and they have, you have to put your own order in and you have to do everything yourself. So now she's asking for me to keep going, and I said, what's next? They're going to make you cook the food? What am I going to do? Cook the food, serve it to myself? What's next? I was starting to get a little bit irritated, And I said, I don't need, to be hassled. Excuse me. Dry throat is a bitch. Anyways, I don't need to be, I finally had to say to her, I don't need to be hassled. Okay? And once I said that, I could see she started like try to act a little friendlier. Maybe she thought this customer's going to tell the manager on me or something. The woman was in her 40s. She was an older woman, and she's basically trying to let me know what I know a lot of you are going to let me know. Wake up. This is the brave new world. This is the 21st century. So I take this opportunity to grandstand a little bit. And I said, I'm a 20th century guy. I said, I have no need for this stuff. I said, I have to do it. I'll do it. So we continue, and she says, okay, do you have, a CVS card? I said, no, I don't. She goes, well, if you don't have a CVS card, you're not going to get any deals or anything. So that's okay. I just want to pay for this and leave, please. And she goes, okay. She says, phone number? And I said, no. I also don't leave my phone number. I said, because I told her, which is true, I said, lately, every hour on the hour, I'm getting spam calls in my phone, automatic spam calls. I try to leave my phone number as little as I can, I told her, and yet I'm still getting spam calls every hour. The more numbers I leave, the more, what am I going to get them every 15 minutes? I said, I don't need any spam. I don't need anybody having my number. And, we kind of like did our business and everything, and it was just, all right, here you go, and do you want a receipt? And I had to like press a button that said no receipt. I didn't need a receipt because I wasn't going to return what I bought or anything. But, I'm like, it says receipt or no receipt. Now I got to press no receipt not to get a receipt, or a receipt for her to give me a receipt, a permission thing, authorization. Look, it's insane. It is insane what's going on here. I don't understand this whole thing about we pay more money for things and we got to work and do them ourselves. You got to pay more for groceries, but you got to check them all out yourself, and you got to do the work, and you got to bring your bags from home, and they're not going to give you bags. We might as well. Do we just have to be farmers ourselves, grow the vegetables? I mean, do we have to go out and get the beef and take care of it and cut it up and package it? I mean, do we have to do everything? Is anybody going to do anything? What are you getting paid for anyway? What? Aren't you worried that there's not going to be any people working? There's going to be all AI robots or something? Folks, the bottom line is that I went in there and I actually felt okay. And during that little exchange, at first I was getting hassled. I was getting, scolded. I was getting told the lay of the land. Somebody telling me, just say yes, sir, no, sir, yes, ma'am, no, ma'am. The customer's right. Just put up with him or her. Just deal with it. I don't need to face an interrogation or a hassle or, a lesson about this. This is the modern times here, sir, and all this kind. I don't need to hear this. When I go to a restaurant, sometimes they have this thing where you get to sit down and they have this big kiosk thing, and I got to pay at the kiosk or look at the menu. I say, I want a menu. Give me a menu. She comes up, and they go over and give you an actual cardboard menu. And at the end, I say, no, I don't want to pay by this. I'm going to pay look, call me old fart you want. I'm a proud old fart.